Mime Knowledge Whale. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. The air quality in Beijing got so bad in December of 2015 that schools were closed, car travel was restricted, and barbecuing was banned. Japanese death row inmates aren't told the date of their execution, therefore they wake up every single day wondering if today may be their last. The Sacramento Public Library started a Library of Things earlier in 2016, which allowed patrons to check out, among other things, sewing machines and other items that patrons may find useful but may not need to own long term. There's a Santa Claus University in LA that teaches professional Santa Claus skills such as toy knowledge, poses, and how to avoid a lawsuit. Oh, but before you laugh at them, a top-level Santa Claus can actually make up to $100,000 a year. Ho ho ho! Who's laughing now? When the world's top soccer player, Cristiano Ronaldo, was asked to donate his cleats for a charity auction benefiting 10-month-old Eric Ortiz Cruz, who had a brain disorder that could cause 30 seizures a day, he instead paid the whole $83,000 for his surgery himself. A lot of old movie theaters used to have something called cry rooms, where you could literally take your children if they were becoming disruptive. This way, you could still enjoy the movie while not disturbing the other moviegoers. There's a spray that makes everything smell like a cat's head. Cat owners have been known to compare their cat's head to the smell of sunshine or freshly baked bread, so of course, a company in Japan spent 4 months sniffing cats to bottle the scent. The Coast Guard trained pigeons to assist in finding people lost at sea. They sat in a dome attached to a helicopter, pressing a lever after they spotted life preservers or debris. And believe it or not, they had a 90% success rate in initial trials. Ooh, over there, ooh. It would take you 10 years to view all of the photos that were shared on Snapchat in the last hour alone. In the United States, sitting on a sea turtle is in fact a third-degree felony. A 17-year-old refugee named Aslan al-Hakim refused to leave his puppy, Rose, in Syria during the refugee crisis and carried her more than 300 miles to safety. A grandmother in Vicenza, Italy accidentally sent 2 adults and 3 children to the hospital when she made them cocoa with packets that expired back in 1990. In Japan, eating Christmas dinner at KFC is so popular that 2-hour lines form at some locations waiting for people to get in. In the Philippines, there's a banana ketchup. During World War II, there was actually a shortage of tomatoes, so they had to use bananas as a replacement to replace ketchup. It's made from mashed bananas, sugar, vinegar, and spices. In rich countries, obesity is more common among the less educated, but in poor countries, obesity is common among the highly educated. The Lion King was originally called the King of the Jungle. That is until the Disney team learned that lions don't live in the jungle. There are special bins in Mexico City where you can put your dog poo in it, and in exchange, you get free Wi-Fi. And in fact, the more poo, the longer the free Wi-Fi. There is a 70-meter-long organ on the coast of Zadar, Croatia. The organ, designed by architect Nikola Basic, has 35 tubes that make music whenever waves crash into them. The last individual of a single species is called an endling. When it dies, the species is then extinct. There's an annual photo contest called the Comedy Wildlife Photography Awards. Entries consist of the funniest animal wildlife pictures that photographers accidentally or intentionally captured throughout their career. Boeing has created a new metal called microlattice that's 99.99% air, so light in fact that the metal can sit on top of a dandelion without crushing it. In 2015 in Colorado, a mysterious teenager was regularly breaking into homes, stealing snacks, specifically Hot Pockets, and watching people's Netflix. He literally steals no cash or valuables, only snacks and Netflix. Somebody was clearly high, man. The sun is the most perfect sphere ever observed in nature, according to University of Hawaii's Dr. Jeffrey Kuhn. Polish teenager Iga Jasica unexpectedly woke up in the middle of her brain surgery and calmly asked the doctor, "How's it going?" Amazingly, she wasn't in any pain, so they talked about cats until the surgery was over. In 2003, 2 men stole a Boeing 727 from an Angolan airport and were never seen again. How do you get away with that? Saudi Arabia is the largest country in the world without a river. Disney put 500 stormtroopers on the Great Wall of China to promote Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The Soviets found that sniper duties actually fit women the best, since snipers are patient, careful, deliberate, can avoid hand-to-hand combat, and need higher levels of aerobic conditioning than other troops. The Daiichi Yoshin preschool in Japan has a courtyard that collects rainwater into a giant, clean puddle that kids can stomp and splash around in. There is a rare brain disorder called foreign accent syndrome that causes people to involuntarily speak in foreign accents. Well, isn't that the crazy one? Adopting children is actually considered taboo in Korea, and because of this, South Korea's orphans are almost never adopted unless a foreigner adopts them. In 2015, a Russian man got drunk with his friends, dropped dead, came back to life in the morgue freezer, and then headed off to drink some more. Those Russians, man, just badass. In 2009, 3 masked burglars unknowingly broke into Swedish actor Dolph Lundgren's home and tied him up and then threatened his wife. But they immediately fled when they found a family photo and realized who owned the home. He was probably like, "I will break you." And they were like, "Yeah, okay, I know, we out." There are more neurons lining your stomach than there are in your spinal cord, so your digestive system can work without needing your brain. In fact, when you're flooded with emotion, the neurons react and you get a gut feeling. Photographer Andrew Suriono was about to put his camera away due to rain when he noticed an orangutan using a leaf for shelter. He quickly snapped this shot, which got him an honorable mention in the 2015 National Geographic Photo Contest. 29-year-old Alan Dixon from Ireland has mastered the art of the animal selfie. Though they appear very casual, he sometimes spends hours gaining an animal's trust before a shot. Despite being a millionaire, Steve Jobs only paid $500 a month in child support to his daughter Lisa. Yes, that's the same girl that he named the computer after, but still attempted to deny paternity for. In 1986, Soviet pilot Alexander Lukyov made a bet with a co-pilot that he could land an airplane blind. Sounds safe. So he curtained the cockpit windows and crashed the plane into a landing strip, killing 70 out of 87 passengers. There are certain things you just don't take a bet for. That's one of them. There is a battery-powered bell at Oxford University that has been continuously ringing for over 175 years. Nobody knows what the battery is composed of, and no one wants to take the device apart in order to figure it out. In the twilight of the Cold War, the United States spent millions of dollars to supply Afghan school children with textbooks filled with violent images and militant Islamic teachings, part of covert attempts to spur resistance of the Soviet occupation. The Like a Hug jacket gives you a hug whenever a friend likes one of your Facebook posts. In World War II, 9 airmen escaped from their planes after being shot down during bombing raids. 8 out of the 9 men were captured, tortured, beheaded, and eaten. The 9th man was George H.W. Bush. In 2015, a man named Torkel Christophers was arrested for kidnapping when his neighbors didn't recognize him with his new beard that he grew while taking time off of work. Studies have suggested that gifted people often have bad handwriting because their brains are often working faster than their hand. Okay, I literally have the worst handwriting in the world, so I'll take that compliment. There's a biological reason why we can't resist puppy dog eyes. Sustained eye contact significantly raises oxytocin levels in both humans and dogs, which in turn encourages trust, love, and bonding. This response isn't found in even hand-raised wolves, which suggests that humans and dogs may have co-evolved to share this trait in order to be companions. In Brooklyn, New York, entrepreneur Nina Keneally established a business called Need a Mom that you can call and literally rent a mom for $40. She listens to you, gives you advice, cooks, and helps you with chores. At the Nuremberg trials, several Nazi leaders achieved genius-level scores of an IQ test. When 70-year-old farmer Winston Howe's wife of 33 years, Janet, died suddenly, he decided that he wanted to create a lasting tribute to her. So he planted thousands of oak saplings in a 6-acre field and left a heart-shaped point facing towards her childhood home. Villagers in the Indian village of Marachil began playing chess as an alternative to drinking after a ban on alcohol. The village is now known as Chess Village due to its near 100% chess literacy. Japan keeps a defunct train station called Kayu Shiritaka on the island of Hokkaido running just for one girl, yes, one girl, so that she can attend school every day. The train only makes 2 stops, one when the lone high school student leaves for school and the other when she returns. And that's all for this time, guys. If you want to learn more, the Knowledge Whale encourages you to check out my sources in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can catch my next video. On the right, you'll find a link to my vlog channel that you can click right there. And of course, if you want to check out my gaming channel, there's a link that you can click right there. And all of these links along with all of my socials are in the description below. And that's it. I love you guys. The Flipper of Knowledge says goodbye. Oh, 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 oh.